Hey everyone, welcome back to Code with Poonam. It's day 90 of our 100 days of coding challenge in JavaScript. Today's challenge is all about to find the sum of all odd numeric values in an object. So let's proceed with this challenge and we will move towards our VS Code. If we see in the VS Code, here we have our question along with the sample input and output, right? So what is the question? We have to write a JavaScript function to calculate the sum of all odd numeric values in an object, right? And here they have provided us with three test cases, right? Now we will come down and first of all, what we are going to do, we are going to write our JS function, okay? So I will write here what JS function. After that, what is the next important part here? That we have to calculate the sum of all odd numeric values in an object, okay? So let us take this and we are going to put it over here. Now we will come to the line number 12 and we will define our function name. So we will keep our function name as what? Sum odd numeric values. Okay. So this will be our function name and this is what we are going to use it when we will be writing our function. Okay. Now let us proceed to this input and output and we will understand how we are reaching to this particular output. Okay. So let us take this first input object. So what we have A:1, B:2, C:10, D:3 and E:8, right? And what is the output? Output is 4. And what we have to calculate? We have to calculate the sum of all odd numeric values in an object. So first of all, let us take out the values from here, okay? So what are the values? 1, 2, text, 3 and 8, right? These are the values. And out of that, what are the numeric values? 1, 2, 3 and 8, right? And out of that, what are the odd numeric values? It is nothing but 1 and 3, right? And when we sum them up, what we are going to get? 4, right? So 1 plus 3 is 4. And that is where the output is what? 4. Now let us proceed to the next input object. So what we have? X:11, Y:hello, Z:7 and W:4. So let us first take out the values. So what are the values? 11, hello, 7 and 4, right? And from that, now what are the only the numeric values? 11, 7 and 4. Now from that, what are the odd ones? It is nothing but 11 and 7. So when we sum them up, what we are going to get? 18, right? 11 plus 7, that is nothing but 18, right? Now we will proceed to our next input object. So what we have? M:101, N:200, O:JS, P:true, and Q:9. Now what are the values? 101, 200, JS, true, and 9, right? After that, what are the only the numeric ones here? 101, 200 and 9. Now, what are the odd ones from that? It is nothing but 101 and our 9, correct? And when we sum up 101 and 9, what we are going to get? 110, right? That is nothing but 110. So that is how we are reaching to this particular output. Now we have understood how we are reaching to this particular output in case of each of our input. Now, on the basis of that, we are going to write our approach, okay? So I will just write here what? Approach. So first of all, what we will have to do, we will have to extract the values, right? So I will write here what? Extract values. So first of all, what we will have to do, we will have to extract the values. So I'll just write here what? Extract values. Now by using what we can extract the values? By writing our method. इसे नहीं चलेगा. So first of all, we will have to extract the values. So I will write here what? Extract values. Now, how can we extract the values? We will be using our Object.values method to extract the values. So suppose if we assume this is our object, so I will take this object and I am going to write here what? Obj is equal to this object, okay? So then how we will be writing our Object.values method? I will write here what? Object.values, and to this values we will pass our obj, okay? And what is the output we are going to get? In an array we will get 1 comma 2 comma text we will get. After that, we are going to get 3 and then 8 we will get. Okay. So what does this object.values method return? It returns an array with all the values of that particular object. Okay. So that is why we are getting this particular output. After that, what we have to do? We have to extract our odd numeric values, right? So I'll just take this and I will put it over here. And before that, I'm going to write here what? Extract. So we have to extract our odd numeric values. Okay. So how can we do that? We will be using our filter method for that. So I'll just write here what? Filter method. So what does this filter method do? This filter method creates a new array with all the elements that passes a test provided by a callback function. So how we are going to write it? So I will write here what? Our arr dot filter, and to this filter method, we are going to pass our callback function. Now this callback function needs a condition. Okay. So I will write here what? Condition. And if that condition passes out, then we will get our what? True values. So I'll write here what? True values. And we will get this in an array form. Okay. So that is what we have written it over here. Now in this context, how we are going to use our filter method? For that, we need an array, right? So we will take this particular array, and what we will do? We will store this inside a variable called as a obj values, and we will use it wherever this array will be needed. Okay. So now we will use this variable and we will write here what? Our filter method. Okay. And to this we will pass our callback function, and here we are going to pass what? Element. And here we need to write that condition. Okay. Now down we will see what will be the condition needed. Okay. So we have to do here two checks, right? What are the two checks? First, we have to make sure that it is a number, right? So we will have to check for a number, correct? And second, what is the check we have to do? We will have to check for a odd number, right? So that also we need to check it. So we will just write it over here. Now we will come here and we will see what will be the condition we have to write here. So we will write here what? Our type of element should be is equal to number, right? And after that, here what is the check we have to do? That our number should not be divisible by 2, right? Then only it will be odd number. So what we are going to write? We will write here what? Element should not be divisible means we will use our modulus operator. So modulus of 2 not is equal to 0, then it will be an odd number, and this we have to check it together. So that is why we will need here our AND operator as well. So I will write here what? Our AND operator. Now let us put our condition also inside our filter method. So I will take this and I am going to put it over here. Okay. And in place of the condition, let us replace it with our exact condition. So I will write here what? Type of, and then we have to write what? Element is equal to number, correct? And we will be writing our AND operator. Then we have to write here what? Our element modulus of 2 not is equal to 0. So this will be our entire condition, and if any of the element passes out this test, we will get our true values in an array form, right? So that is what we have to do it. So what we will get here, the output, we are going to get here what? 1, 3. Why 1, 3? Because if we come here and see our obj values array, what we have? 1, 2, text, 3 and 8. So from that, what are the numbers? 1, 2, 3 and 8, right? Now amongst that, what are the odd numbers? We have just 1 and 3. That is why we are getting here what? 1 and 3. Now after that, what we have to do? We have to calculate what? The sum of all the odd numeric values, right? So this I will take it from here and I'm going to put it over here. So for that, what we have to use? We will have to use our reduce method. So I will just write here what? Reduce. Now what this reduce method do? This reduce method executes a reducer function on each element of an array, resulting into a single output value. Okay. So if I have to write here, what I am going to write? Our arr dot reduce I will write, and in that it will take a callback function. Okay. And to this we are going to pass what? Our ACC comma CV, and here we will be writing our ACC plus CV comma initial value. It is going to come here. Now what is the initial value? It is nothing but the initial value which we give it, okay? And if you have the initial value, it will be the same which is going to go for our ACC. ACC is nothing but the accumulator, okay? So wherein whatever the addition will be done, it will go and accumulate it over there. That is why the name comes here as what? Accumulator. And what is CV? CV is nothing but our current value, which is referring to the element of our array, okay? And why we have written here initial value? Because if our initial value will not be there, then our ACC will take the first element of our array. And if we have an initial value, it will take that initial value as its initial value. So ACC will become whatever the initial value we are going to give, okay? So in this aspect, what we are going to write here now, suppose we store this inside a variable called as a odd numeric values, okay? So this variable we are going to use it now. So I will write here what? Odd numeric values dot reduce, okay? This is what I am going to write it. And here we are going to write what? ACC comma CV, and we will write here what? Our ACC plus CV, and comma 0 we are going to write it. And after that we are going to get the output as what? 4. 1 plus 3, it will automatically do it, okay? Now let us see how we are going to sum up everything. So I will write here what? Our initial value is equal to 0, and our ACC will also be 0, right? Because it is going to take initial values value. So that is why it will be 0. Now on which array we are going to work? On this, right? So we will take this and we are going to put it over here. Now let us understand the iteration, okay? So we will have here our ACC is equal to 0 and CV will be what? 1. So then what we have to do? Our ACC plus CV, right? So what we are going to get here then? 0 plus 1, correct? So we will get output as what? 1. Now this will be our ACC value for the second iteration. So I will write here what? Our ACC is equal to what? 1, and what will be our CV value? It will be nothing but 3, right? So what we are going to write here? ACC plus CV, correct? So we are going to get here what? Our 1 plus 3, right? And that is where it will become 4, and this will be our final output, okay? So I will just write here our final output. Why this will be our final output? Because we don't have any other element after that, right? And this what we will do? We will store it inside a sum variable, and finally we will print this sum variable. So I will write here what? Print this sum variable, and this will be our final output which we are going to get it. Now we have understood how we are reaching to the final output, right? Now we will implement the same thing inside our function. So I will write here what? Sum odd numeric values, right? And let us quickly invoke it with a function name. So I will write here what? Sum odd numeric values, and to this we are going to pass our first input object. So let us take this input object and we are going to pass it over here. Let us pass it, and we will receive here as a params as a obj, right? Now at line number 43, just console it out. So I will write here what? Console.log of obj, okay? Now we will come to the terminal and we will just test it out. So we will write here what? Node 90 challenge and hit enter. If you see, we are getting our input object, right? After that, what we have to do? We have to extract our values, right? So that is what we are going to write it. Now for that, what we have to use? Our Object.values method. So first of all, let us declare a variable called as obj values is equal to Object.values method, and to that we are going to pass our obj. Now let us just console it out. So I will write here what? Console.log of obj values, okay? And we will see in the terminal what output we get. So I will write here what? Node 90 challenge and hit enter. And if you see, it is returning an array, right? Let us come above and let us check it over here. It is exactly the same what we have written here, right? So it is returning nothing but an array of our values of an object, right? Now we will come down, and what we are going to do? We are going to extract our odd numeric values, right? So for that, we will be using our filter method, right? So let us write our filter method. So we will first declare a variable called as what? Odd numeric values is equal to our obj values dot filter, right? And to that we will pass our callback function. And let us write here what? Element, right? And here let us write the condition. So what we are going to write? Type of we will write, and we have to check this element is equal to number, correct? And we will be using our AND operator, and after that what we'll be writing? That element modulus of 2, right, should not be is equal to 0, right? And if the condition is satisfying, we will get our resultant output. So let us just console it out. So console.log of odd numeric values. Now let us test this out in the terminal. So first of all, we will clear it up, and I will write here what? Node 90 challenge and hit enter. If you see, we are getting our odd numeric values. If you check it from our approach, what we have written, it is exactly the same, okay? After that, what we have to do? We have to sum up all the odd numeric values, right? For that, we will have to use our reduce method, okay? So let us use our reduce method, and for that, first we are going to declare a variable called as a sum, and here we are going to store our final resultant output, right? So we will write here what? Odd numeric values dot reduce, correct? And to that, we will pass our callback function, and here we will write ACC comma CV, right? And here ACC plus CV we are going to write comma 0. And let us just console out. So I will write here what? Console.log of sum. And let us see in the terminal what output we get. So let us come here, clear it up, and we will write here what? Node 90 challenge and hit enter. If you see, we got here output as 4. That is nothing but our final output from this particular input object, okay? Now let us test it for the another input object. So we will take this and we will come down, and if you saw, the output was 18, okay? So some odd numeric values, and let us pass it and let us test it here. So node 90 challenge and hit enter. You see, we are getting 18. That is exactly the same if you check it over here, okay? Now let us pass the last one, and you check the output also. It is 110, okay, 110. So let us come down, and we will write here what? Some odd numeric values, and to that let us pass our object, and we will just clear it up and rerun it one more time, and let us see, we get here 1110. So let us come above. So for the first it is 4, for the second it is 18, right? And for the last it is 110. So we are getting all the outputs correctly, okay? Now what we will do, we will come down and we will just comment out our console.log statement. So we'll comment this out. We will comment this out also, and we are going to comment this out also. Now let us clear the terminal and rerun it one more time. So I will write here what? Node 90 challenge and hit enter. You see, we are getting 4, 18 and 110. So that is the exact output which we are getting, and we have got the same output. Now let us have a quick recap of this question. So let us come above and we will read out the question. So we have to write a JavaScript function to calculate the sum of all odd numeric values in an object. And here they gave us the 3 test cases, right? Then what we did here, we wrote the important parts of our question, and we also defined our function as what? Some odd numeric values, correct? And we understood how we are reaching to the output, right, with respect to each of the input. So on the basis of that, we wrote our approach. So first what we did, we extracted the values by using our Object.values method. What it does, it is going to return an array of all the values in the object, right? That is what we have seen as well, correct? And after that, what we did, we extracted the odd numeric values, correct, by using our filter method. Now what does this filter method do? This filter method creates or returns a new array with all the elements that passes a test provided by a callback function, right? And this callback function needs a condition, right? So that is what we have written here. So we did a to check, right, using our AND operator, first for a number, and second it should be an odd number. That is what we have done here, and we got here our odd numeric values, right? So after that, we calculated the sum of all the odd numeric values by using a reduce method. Now what does this reduce method do? This reduce method executes a reducer function on each element of an array, resulting in a single output value, right? And we have done the same here, and we got our final output as what? 4. That is a single single output value. And from line number 36 to 38, we understood the iteration, how it is going to perform and how we are going to get our final output. And we stored our final output inside a sum variable, right? And that is where after that we printed our final output. And we understood the complete approach, and on the basis of that, then we wrote our entire function, right? So what we wrote here, our function and our function name and our obj was what? As a parents, we were receiving our input object, right? Then we consoled our obj just to test whatever we were passing it, it is able to receive it or not, our input object, right? Then after that, we extracted the values, correct, by using our obj.values, and we tested in the terminal as well, and we got our final output, correct? After that, we used our filter method, and inside our filter method, we passed our condition and we tested that how many elements are passing that particular condition, correct? And after that, on that odd numeric values, we just calculated the sum, right, by using our reduce method, and we printed here as console.log sum, and we got our output also. From line number 56 to 58, we invoked this function 3 times by passing our 3 different input objects, right? And we got our final output as well, correct? Now let us clear the terminal and rerun it one more time. Node 90 challenge and hit enter. We are getting our exact output, right? This is what was needed, and we have done the same thing, right? Now I will tell you guys why this challenge is useful, because it helps us in developing the skills in object manipulation and using our array methods like filter and reduce. It also strengthens the understanding of number filtration and data aggregation, okay? And it's a great question for interview as well. So do practice out this question, okay? And try out with the different input objects. Many saas full gayi yaar. So now guys, I will tell you why this challenge is useful. It helps us in developing the skills in object manipulation and using the array methods like filter and reduce. It also strengthens the understanding of number filtering and data aggregation. And it's a great question for interview as well. So do try this out and also pass your different input objects. And let me know the output in the comment section. And keep coding and keep improving your skills. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more daily challenges. And I will see you tomorrow with another exciting challenge. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. ये तो हो ही गया मेरा. Now I will tell you guys why this challenge is useful, because it helps in developing the skills in object manipulation and using array methods like filter and reduce. It also strengthens the understanding of number filtering and data aggregation. And it's an excellent practice for data processing tasks and interview preparations as well. So keep coding, guys, and keep improving your JavaScript skills. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more daily challenges. And I will see you tomorrow with another exciting challenge. So thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.